there, finally. Now, what was the code?
All right, that is not friendly, Captain. That's not friendly.
Okay.
All right, so this is AhueWave's room. All right. You send it. You send it.
Yes. Okay. Let me share this to my chat now.
You share this to your moments.
I didn't do that yet. I'm doing it now.
What is the correct way, like polite way to ask? AhueWave's also teaching English. We're both teaching English through chatting.
Who asked?
Captain, what it is a good a polite way to ask someone's age?
Someone just asked that?
Yeah.
That's more polite to say, may I know?
You are not talking into the mic.
I mean, that's more polite in a sense of saying, may I? But the thing is, when it comes to ages, a lot of different cultures have different feelings about that, and just a lot of different people in general. Not even just to think about cultures, but different people don't like being asked how old they are, and don't like revealing
because
their
this
age.
is private information. Like, it's like, how much money do you have in your bank? Something like that, right? Like, how much do you make, right?
I think the important thing to think about is, on one hand, people can share openly, and people do share openly, but does it really matter? Unless it's,
it doesn't matter at all.
unless we're like actually dealing with something medically, and you're talking to your doctor, and these certain things can factor in because of risk factors and all this other stuff, like on a personal note, then maybe, the age would matter. But when you're just having a conversation, it tends to, it's just something that it just doesn't have any weight on what's being discussed. And also when you think about it,
He's out.
yeah, I'm glad.
I'm glad
also,
too.
when you think about it, how do I put this? Think about how often, when you're in these chat rooms and you're in these lives and you're in these different rooms, everyone is asking that same question over and over again.
Yeah.
So it gets exhausting to sit here and consistently answer how old you are. Okay? And so then when you add in, right, when you add in
What?
When you add in the fact of, like, how do I put this? Let me see. It's just like, what, why waste the time on constantly answering the question of how old you are? Like, it's just, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Every single day, the same question 1,000 times. It's pretty crazy.
All right. So you shared your room, and let me see. I shared a room too.
What's interesting too, though, right, is I almost no one asks me how old I am, but and almost no woman asks Pineapple how old she is. It's only men who are asking how old she is, right? And then he says she looks like a kid, right? Which is just not, it's just not true. But then you add in the aspect of, like, we're talking about relationship advice. You can hear age and a large factor in terms of like the wisdom that's behind it. You can hear if you're a mature adult, right? Then you see that, like, okay, hold on. You see that she's involved in all these languages. She's a choreographer, water activist, musician, right? All these link trees, like you can book private English lessons. Like, she got so much going on. It's pretty wild. The first thing all you can think about is like, how old are you? It's like, why, bro? Every time, all day. Hold on one second.
Hello, Joe. Joe, 7456.
How do I mute myself? Can you mute yourself?
If I mute myself, then
yeah, just everywhere.
Okay.
Just mute it.
Let me see. Hi. Hi. Yeah.
Okay, so you mute it everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Why not just put your age on your profile? And then nobody should ask anymore, because it'll just say, like, you can just put like.
No, it's fine. They're gonna ask other stuff.
They're
whatever.
Still gonna ask.
Yeah, they're still gonna ask other stuff.
Even if you put your age there, they'll still ask how old are you.
They might don't. They don't check. They might be lazy and don't check.
That's true.
Okay, let me just unmute it.
It's just so crazy. Oh my God! You know what? I almost want to put in the description of the room of like the one rule in the description of the room whenever I make a room is like, just don't ask how old anyone is.
Yeah, that can be your relationship advisor room.
It just
the rule you can
yeah, like, don't ask anyone.
You can put the
in the comments or anyone on the stage, like in the chat, because like I don't know, man. Like let's even say like relationship advice. Like if you're 15 and you're dating someone in high school or whatever, and they're 15 as well, like when you talk about like the situation of a relationship, like the dynamics of what is going on at that stage in your life, that gets revealed through that. But I don't need to know if he's, what is his birth date and exactly, and like I don't need to know that. You know what I mean? I just need to know the circumstances of, you fighting, you're arguing, what issues are you actually having, right? He doesn't have to tell me if he's 17 or if he's 19. All of that stuff just kind of gets discovered through an idea, through the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, a lot of it too is like, even with his response, like it's you're being negative and you're angry that someone's not revealing their age to you because they don't have to and they don't
Why?
want to. When you could just be respectful and just be like, okay, you know, because you asked and they don't want to say. You know what I mean? So it's so strange. Whenever I meet people and I have conversations with people from all over the world, I never ask them like how old are you? Like it just doesn't even come up in my mind. Like sometimes they'll reveal it because, you know, they want to.
Yeah, like where are you in those kind of basic questions, right? Basic questions.
I just feel like, you know, man, we could just
it's like where you are, that. how old you are, and
where you live exactly.
Yeah, and then what, right? And
just every day, where do you live?
And then you still don't know anything about that person,
and
right?
And it tends to be just like mostly for the males to the women, and then mostly to try to gauge if they can try to have a relationship with them. It's like, dude, this is no one's here to like get into a relationship with someone else here on this app. Like that's just not what we're here for. We're here for learning more about practicing your language and then the topic to discuss it, which is relationship advice if you're having any issues in a relationship, like with someone already, or if you're having issues getting into a relationship, or you're having issues. Hold on one second.
Hello, Karim and Laura. Hello, everybody.
Peace, Kareem. How you doing?
How's it going?
It's going well. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. You're talking about relationships?
Yes. Do you have a question, an issue? Do you have something that you feel like you could, you know, use some brainstorming, some thinking about it, try to get a solution?
Let us think about it. What kind of relation? What kind of?
I mean, it honestly can be friendship advice, from friendship you're having issues with. It could be romantic relationship that you're having issues with, or need some advice, or you know, whatever you're wanting to ask questions on. I'll see if I can offer something of value.
Okay. First, I'm in college. I study science.
Nice.
I'm somehow don't go out much. Don't get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the way? Is it the right thing to say it?
Yeah, you could say it that way. You don't get out much. That's something that's commonly said.
I don't have much friends. Yeah, a few. Yeah, you can count them on hands.
Mm-hmm.
When I meet new people, yeah, they say to me, you're different. You're maybe I like nerd.
Okay.
I'm like nerd. Yeah, I think people don't accept me like that.
So if I may say, you're referring to just those people who have said those things and given that vibe to you, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because not when you say people don't, only thing is like we got to be very careful, and I do this. I check myself on this as well, so I'm not attacking you, but I'm just pointing out that we got to be careful with how we talk about ourselves and to ourselves, and those certain people who feel that way about you are just those certain people. It's not everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't want to generalize because that's like, you know, it's harmful to our own heart, and it's not true. Because you said you got friends, so it's not everybody. And how many people have you actually had the chance to try to build a relationship out of the over 8 billion that are on the planet Earth? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but continue.
Give me a second.
So I'm sorry for interjecting. I see you may have lost your train of thought.
Hello, guys. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. We're doing well, Zachariah. Kareem was just in a sentence, so I'm gonna have you just wait for him to finish, if you could, please.
Yeah, sure.
How can I put it? But I feel some people are jealous or something like that. Yeah.
Jealous of your academic success? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. About academics. When here there is no much people who can apprehend English.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
In Egypt, yeah.
Egypt, okay.
In Egypt. When I go to college, I lived there with my classmates from different colleges in the university. Or maybe people outside the university. When I'm studying, to some point I'm more advanced from some people in my studying. I see people trying to underestimate me, or
So are you saying, Laura, I see you applied to go on stage, but I don't see you in the room. So you just got to give me a second, and I'll get to you, Laura. So are you saying that in your academic life, in the college, or like your environment, right? Your social environment, you're dealing with the difficulties of being underestimated there, and kind of, like you said, jealousy, and then that's spilling over into like you growing and maintaining good friendships, and then you're saying that's interfering with you. Are you just talking about just the friendships, or are you also talking about the romantic side?
Friendship.
Just friendship. Okay, so friendships. So I will say this: we don't have control over the character and how people are going to treat us, no matter how you are as a person in terms of your interests and in terms of your skills or your gifts, right? We don't have control over who's going to respect that, honor that, and want to push you up, right? And also just be themselves and not try to compete with you and surpass you. It's not always about, it shouldn't be about, it's not about competition when it comes to friends, right? Friends, good people who support you and love you, they're going to be there for you and support you, no matter how incredible you are, without comparing themselves to you, right? And
I think no one loves to be under the other.
well, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying in the sense of the ego.
Yeah.
But that is a part of life. That's an inescape. You can't get around the fact that there are going to be, and there are, many people who are more talented, skilled, refined in many different areas all over the world. That's just a fact of life. And it's actually a beautiful thing. And let me put it to you like this.
Yeah.
When the ego, which we all have, rises up within us, we start thinking, damn, I need to be the best at everything, right? And then we start comparing. We start, I need to push myself and challenge I need to be better than this. Oh, I'm the best at this, but I need to be better. And it's exhausting, and it drains us. It drains our life force. And I'll tell you why. Because if we were to pick the things that we're super passionate about and that we do want to be better versions of ourselves, the best versions that we can be, right? Then it can be that you end up having a comparison of, wow, look, this person, and you're really high on this level, and they're close to you, and that's for the society to judge and everything, right? But everything else is a beautiful. It's like a movie for us to enjoy, right? We can't play all the roles in the movie. You just play that one part, right? And sometimes you're not even in the movie, and you can just watch and enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
And so when we pull ourselves back from that, right, then it allows you to really enjoy the gifts of everyone else, right?
You say I pick up the good thing from other people.
Well,
only the good thing, and pull over the bad things from me.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Can you clarify what you're saying? I want to make sure I fully comprehend and answer that.
When I'm surrounded by people, I can pick up the good in the people and pull the bad from me.
Pick up the good. So yeah, so you can enjoy the talents and the gifts that they have to offer without comparing yourself and trying to compete with them, right? And then and for them, you can reassure them that, you know, these are the things that you're talented at, right? And you're proud of the work that you've put in for it. But you know at the core that you're no better as a human being than them. We're just human beings, both of us human beings. And you know that there are probably, and there are a whole bunch of different things that you're more talented than, that they're more talented than you are, right? And so and you honor that, right? And you can have them, hey, what are the things that you love? What are the things that you're passionate about, that you're really skilled at, right? And I can show you love for that, and I can push you up on the things that you really are good at. It doesn't have to be about, you know, me being better and then putting you down, and you can actually lift them up, right? And then people now open up to you and they look at you as like, wow, okay, you know, you're not a egotistical kind of a self-absorbed human being.
Yeah.
You know, you don't got to put yourself down, but you can definitely lift other people up. And life is such a grueling competition, fierce, dog eat dog world business. Just, this is just business, that often we get lost in that, right? And we are in such a competitive mind state. Grades, whether it's grades or sales or whatever it is, right? It's usually just those two, grades, sales, and then it's maybe in the academic of discoveries, right?
Yeah.
Now, all that is heavily ego, right? And the ego drives us, humanity, forward in a lot of ways. It has been, but it's up for us to subdue our ego. We have to get control of it and allow it to fuel us when it's good for us, and allow it to sit back when it's not. You know?
I get the idea. So, I want to know something about there is a kind of people who want to piss me off or make me anxious, or who deliberately trying to make you mad.
So you're saying the people who are deliberately trying to get a rise out of you. Okay, so what's your question about that? What are you
why they are doing that?
Man, I love that question.
Yeah,
I love that question. Oh no, sorry. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
there is a mate in my flat. He deliberately pissed me off.
Yeah.
Am I saying right?
Yeah, no, you're saying it right. And so, man, listen, I have dealt with and deal with that, and we are going to deal with that for the remainder of our lives. That's just a part of life. So that the why is dependent on, their experiences as a human being. If they were, whatever traumas that they're holding on to, whatever things that they were taught, right, or mistaught, improperly taught, and the dynamic of what's happening in their life at that time too. A lot of times it's because they're under heavy stress, because they're dealing with medical problems, because they're dealing with relationship problems, family problems. Different things will factor in. Ego, different things will factor into them deciding to basically pass that pain on to you, right? To try to make you suffer, to make themselves feel better. That's just a nature of life.
Although they know that they are hurting me.
Yeah, even though they know. Yeah, man. Even though they know, they'll do it because.
How in the world? I don't understand.
I know, man. It's one of those. You know what? It's a lot of it too is that you have people like that. It's just the balance of everything. You have people like that, and then you got people that will love to make you feel good and to help you in your life and to just bless you and get nothing in return and not want anything in return. And that's just what they want to do, is just to just bless you and keep it moving. Right? And imagine asking the question of why to the people who do that.
I don't know.
That's a hard question to answer, right? I mean,
yeah.
And from my life, when you make me think of is the things that I've gone through in my life, so many of them, I've been blessed so many times where I'm like, what? Why? I don't even understand. Like, what did I do to deserve this? This is wild. I didn't expect this. Like, I really needed this. And then I just accepted it, as like, oh, I'm so grateful for it, right? Gratitude, appreciation. And then after that, it inspired within me to do the same, right? Pay it forward, pass it forward. Yeah. And a lot of that for my whole life is it's a reoccurring theme. It's been happening again and again. And I'm incredibly grateful for that, because I know that I've had people where they're, why? Like, why are you so nice? Why are you so loving? Why are you you? And it's just, you know, the experiences that I've had and the choices that I'm deciding to make in this moment now.
Yeah, yeah. What are you going to gain after that?
You know, so this is another thing, right? What I gain in that moment is joy. I gain the same joy that I give, right? And let's talk about it this way, right? If you are yelling at somebody and being mean, right? You're yelling and your body is going through the same experience as if you were being yelled at.
Wow. I didn't think about it like that.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I started to think about things in that way, it really had a big impact of, okay. Yeah, I was trying to hurry up and sign back on before it closed. Crazy. It's just getting good.
What's going on with live streams?
Dude, so difficult because this didn't yeah, I'm gonna just redo another one. That's crazy.
How come your phone didn't charge?
This device probably just doesn't charge it fast enough. What? It's crazy.
What a live stream. What the hell going on?
It's really not as easy as it's not as easy as it seems to be when you're like trying to give it really good quality. Yeah, I know. When you're trying to give it good quality and you're doing all this stuff, you know, it ends up being a bit much. I wonder if I can invite him. If I can invite him. I think you gotta mute yourself or something.
I don't even need to come off stage, right?
Why am I hearing a delay?
Right. Let me bring me up stage.
Give me a second. Let me make you
Hold on.
mod down here.
Give me a second. Let me make you mod down here.
Oh, I can't make you a mod down here.
Oh, I can't make you a mod down here.
Where's this echo coming from? Do you have
volume?
Oh, it's this one.
Oh, it's the mic.
Okay.
I can't mute. I know. Hold on. Before it didn't have it.
Because I'm using this mic now that I'm not using this
because this is not charging fast enough. So can you bring it down? Can you bring the volume down?
No, not for the mic.
Let
me see if I can do this.
Yeah, you can mute yourself, but you can still hear it.
No, but the room's gonna close if I'm muted for too long.
Oh yeah.
I just needed to get it to 2%.
And then what? Oh my God, there is a feedback. Big feedback.
I know, Angel.
So loud.
Because you're on stage and your mic is on. I gotta mute yours for a second. I can't even mute you. What?
Yeah, you can't mute people. People can mute themselves. You can't mute people. Yeah, it's just I've been in those rooms a lot. I know those. I know. So this is your first time.
TT is better when it comes to the voice room in terms of like the way that it's set up technology wise.
Not really.
No, it's the same.
Not really. This like same. Yeah.
Holy moly. That is crazy. Let me just share it to a chat. Oh, I'm not even talking to him yet, so I can't even.
But if you just use your phone's mic, you don't use this mic, and I mute myself.
Yeah, but
you can charge your phone. You don't need to use because why is it complicated? Because you are using this microphone in here.
Hold on 1 second.
You can definitely use your your phone.
Your phone.
You don't need to be that
that
complicated.
complicated.
Hello,
Hello,
Molly's
Molly's here.
Ahue's phone just died. So, hi.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
everybody.
Peace.
You can hear the feedback, right? The echo.
Yeah. Just give me a second while
People can hear
I'm
you.
allowing it to charge. I'm just trying to turn the battery saver on so that way it can charge faster.
No, it's
Okay.
not that complicated. You just
Charge your phone.
and your phone's microphone and that's
But
fine.
Angel, right now,
Don't call me
my
Angel.
mic,
Don't call me
okay,
Angel.
my mic is muted, and I unmute it, okay, and it's having crazy echo.
Yeah.
Okay, why? I don't even have it plugged in. Okay, you're muted, so why is it having echo? Okay. I think we are better.
What happened?
What happened?
No, it's a delay. Okay, I gotta let him back on stage. Hi, Molita. Good to see you.
Molly,
That's me, Molly.
So you can invite the. His name is Karen.
I know. I'm just still at 1% right now. This is crazy.
Yeah, Molly. I hear it. Wait.
For the raised hands, like it'll say someone.
AhueWave can't. We don't know how to do the moderator. He can't find the moderator button.
Yeah, well, it's not me. Can't find. You've seen it. It's not there.
It's not there.
I don't know why.
Do you all hear an echo?
Okay, so hi guys.
Peace.
Okay, so open your title, like AhueWave's relationship advice. Open the title and, scroll down. You'll find like choice, say set a moderator. And, next to it is a plus.
Awesome. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm finally at 2%. Okay, so if your mic is muted, why are we hearing? Is it just okay.
Ask her if she can hear.
I know why. We're hearing it because we have our headphones on.
Yeah.
And it's through the mic, and it's gonna give us that sound of it.
Yeah. Talk to her. Ask her.
The actual mic is just this mic because I don't have this plugged in. So they're just hearing the sound of the phone.
Yeah, then ask her. Then don't ask me. I don't know.
I just did. I'm telling you. I know. They're not hearing
Okay,
this.
ask her.
I don't need to ask her because I already know.
Okay.
I'm at 2% though, so let me see if I can switch it, and if it drops to 1, I'll switch it again.
Is it even charging? Check it.
I got a different one plugged in, so this one should help the quality of the charging because
is it even charging?
Yes, it's charging. Okay, the issue is not whether or not it's charging; it's just that it's not charging fast enough for how much energy the phone is draining.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I believe we have fixed the error.
Okay, let me share there.
I'm still having issues with the app when people say that to come on stage, it's not showing there to pull them on stage sometimes.
You haven't shared your room.
I believe I did.
No, the new one you haven't shared.
Okay, I'll
no,
share
you haven't
it.
shared.
I'll share it. Man, that's a bummer that we were.
It's good that on Twitch is not it's still here. On Twitch it's still here. So you don't need to adjust YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. Because it was just restreaming it. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely.
Did she hear it? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Then can you hear me? So both of our mics are on, right?
Okay, I'm good to go now.
So can you hear me? There's an echo. Is there an echo? Is there an echo?
No, I don't hear any echo. There's no echo anymore.
There's no echo.
Mm-mm.
Then what happened before?
Because, okay, one more second. I'm gonna just mute it for a second and explain to you again. Okay, because you really want to know, and I've already told you, and I'm gonna tell you again.
Okay.
Okay.
Why TT is still here?
TT is plugged in through here. Okay, so it's the mixer and the mics and everything's set up. Okay.
Okay.
Hello Talk. I had my mic set up through here. Okay. The phone died. Okay. When we turned it back on, I was just charging it with just the wire and didn't have the mic plugged in. So the mic was using the phone's mic. Okay.
But now it's using this one.
Our headphones are hearing the feedback of our voice because it's plugged into the monitor of the mixer, which is connected to this.
It's charging, right?
It's charging. It's at 3%. Went up,
okay.
So we're on the rise. We're good. So what I'm saying is that you're hearing through here the mixer, which is this.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So about the relationship advice, I'm gonna make it easier. I've been told that always like I'm the toxic person, and I'm just wondering. Sometimes I don't do anything. I'm just kind of too logic to do anything and everything or believe in everything. So this is my problem, I guess.
One second. The last thing that you said, I kind of didn't catch it. You said you've been told. I heard you said toxic, but then the last part of what you said. Can you hear me? I don't think she can hear me.
What happened? Hi, Molly, can you hear us?
No, now I can hear you, but before no.
Oh, so I have to unmute myself. I muted myself. What?
So,
yeah.
Oh, so can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Interesting. I don't know what's going on. Is it? Do you hear an echo, or is it just good?
No, it's good.
Okay, so just don't mute yourself, and then we're good.
Okay.
So what I was saying was, I heard you said the toxic part, but the last sentence that you said, I kind of missed. You said, if you could be so kind as to repeat that last part.
Oh, I said like I'm just too logic, I guess. I haven't been toxic actually to anyone or hurt anybody like on purpose, but I'm just too logic, and people get like always the wrong idea, I guess.
Ooh.
I don't know, just my opinion.
Okay, so I love that question because when you say logic, I actually have found, as someone who also is very heavily logical thinking in the mind, that what it does is there are people who are overwhelmed by that, and it can be kind of stressful for them. And
Yeah.
I think the same thing goes for even ourselves, right? A lot of times we can overwhelm ourselves with our logical thinking, because the logic is important, but so is the emotional and the being present, right? So it's just finding that balance. So when you said you said yourself just a second ago, you said you're too logical. Is that what you said? And so
I said, yeah.
So it's like, are you exhausting yourself where you feel like you could pull back and not necessarily use that logic in the conversational, like applying it in a way that is a kind of a combative way?
I'm not sure actually. I didn't, like notice that until someone like told me like you're too logic and people get the wrong idea. I've like come back, like back in the days, and I was just like, thinking about what did I do in my, like my previous situation and everything, and I just kind of, realized that I'm that person that he described me. Before I didn't know that actually. So I don't know if I can pull back, but it's not easy.
That's an interesting thing you say. So it's that self-awareness, right? Because when we're being ourselves, we aren't aware of how it's affecting people until they bring it to our attention.
Yes.
And
exactly.
So for you to, it's a fine balance between, adjusting and adapting ourselves, but also just being ourselves and being accepted and loved for being ourselves, right?
Yeah.
What I find to be interesting is like there is the possibility that you can, because we don't have control over who loves us for us being ourselves and accepts us and compliments us in the right ways, right? That just comes down to, luck and chance in terms of the more people you interact with, the higher chance that you find a higher compatibility, right?
Yeah, kind of.
In terms of if someone is really not compatible with us, okay, well then we move on, right?
Yeah.
Friendship or romantic. And
yeah.
I'm sorry. So and then there's the level of self-growth and development, and for us to kind of open our mind and in a way where we elevate mentally, emotionally, logically, spiritually, physically, and increase the level of peace and joy and satisfaction in our lives, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So, it comes down to, are you happy with being you, in terms of the highly logical side of things? And if you are like really happy and at peace with that, and you're not feeling drained and overwhelmed, then it just is, you just have to be more patient.
Yes, actually, I feel like back then and now, like I've grown, like have been improved a lot of stuff, like different dynamic way in my life, and I'm patient with it. But like when people tell you all the time, oh, you're cold, you're this and you're that, is just kind of annoying. When you're just trying to like to mind your business, have peace and those stuff.
Well, again, you are so neither is wrong, right? You're not wrong for being how you are being, and they're not wrong for feeling that that's how you're being to them.
Yeah.
And so how do I want to, so what it is it's us, being more at peace with that's how they feel, and I'm okay with that, right? Because if they were more evolved emotionally, spiritually, then logically, then they would be able to have that conversation with you to understand, oh, this is just how she's being, and it's not a personal attack on me, and I'm not taking offense to it. And so then they would realize, well, that feeling of coldness is because I haven't earned her warmth.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's only a matter of time until the warmth, whether it be friendship or romantic, would increase due to someone honoring and respecting you being you.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? And appreciating that. If they appreciate that and they're not taking offense to it, then you're feeling good, they're feeling good, you're vibing.
Yeah. I hope it can that way. It's gonna be, much peaceful to both of, both of people in this kind of relationship, I guess.
You're saying it would be more peaceful if both were like that?
Yeah. If, I could get that, kind of, having a conversation, but people don't, ask you me personally, I would appreciate if someone told me when I said that and you said that, I didn't like it. I wish if you said that, make it clear to me, because I don't understand. I just say something because I've think about it and I just respond. I didn't put my emotion into it. But if you told me yeah, well, what you did is not nice, I don't appreciate it, I could accept that. And it was okay, I will think about it. I will think twice. 1,000 times is okay, and I will try, to fix that part. But when you attack someone just oh, you're this and you're that, and give your judgment.
I see what you're saying. You're saying the vagueness makes it so it's hard for you to self-reflect on where you could improve your communication and the way that you're saying things and how you're expressing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you told the people who have been vague to you about how if you're more specific, then I can actually improve, because I'm not doing this to hurt you intentionally, and I can't self-reflect and adjust and adapt to help it be a more enjoyable relationship for both of us unless I'm aware of when it's happening to be able to then grow and adapt?
To be honest, at the first I didn't actually. I didn't talk or make clarify or say anything. And after that I figured out it's not the correct thing to do. It didn't come directly. It's took me a while to realize that. And after I realized that, I said I get the chance not to ask someone, but it's not I've already was an opportunity, and now I get another opportunity with new people. So I tried to make this conversation, but it didn't work with some people, and with some people it's not it's work kind of, if I say 50-50, it's not good, it's not that bad.
I see. So, I mean, that's beautiful that you are aware that at first you weren't doing that, because it's impossible for it to happen if you weren't bringing it to that person's attention, just like how you want them to bring it to your attention, right? So we take responsibility and control of how we can change our lives. And then now you're doing it, but you're seeing that it's just not, you're not doing it all the time, right?
Yeah, because sometimes I don't get the opportunity to do this.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes that's, I mean, a lot of times that's just as good as it's gonna get. We're not gonna be able to, to try to rectify everything. It's just, some people are just, hey, I'm all set, and don't give us the opportunity to, and we have to accept that and move on, Because I mean, even us, we do that to other people too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know, and we there's I try my best to not do that, to try to, you know, but then there are times where, you know, from our own experience, we decide, hey, this is the best decision, to just, you know, it's not even going to be worth it. I'm not going to do it. So don't beat yourself up. You know, it sounds like you're doing great in terms of self-reflection, growth, development. And then it just comes down to just patience. You know what I mean? The right people will love to be around you, and the people who are not right will move away from you, right? You're filtering out your own pool of love and of friendship, right? And of relationships. So just recognize that you're the best filter, because you know you the best.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
I do that.
And just be patient. You know what I mean? Like, and enjoy this process too, because it's a lifelong process. You know.
Yeah, you know, the hard part is you're like, there's so many people trying not to test your limit, but you have like only one limit, but everyone want to test it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like kind of exhausted to feel that way. And being patient is not me actually, but sometimes I'm just too lazy to do anything. So
that works out then that way. You know, it's beautiful you say that too. Kareem, we're going to touch back on what we were talking about when the room got shut down. We were talking about that aspect of the patience side of it is, you know, when we're doing one thing, we're experiencing it while we're doing it. And so, you know, these people that are pressing your buttons, and they're already going through that high level of stress, right? So, because I mean, they're putting out that negative energy to you, right? They're trying to get a rise out of you. So they're already in a negative space. They're already not feeling good. Because why do you think any of those people would actually do that if they were in a very good space, happy, just peaceful, just feeling good? You know, it's just highly unlikely that they would do that. So when we sit back and we think about that, like, okay, this person's got something going on, and I'm going to pray for them. I'm going to wish them to get through it. I'm recognizing that it's not me, it's them, because they're trying to push my buttons. I'm not making them push my buttons, right? So it's not me. And I'm glad that I'm not going through it, so I can be more peaceful right now and observe the fact that they're trying to do this. Like, I'm grateful that, you know, my life is all right. I'm blessed right now. Then you can transmute that energy. You're turning that energy, that negativity, the hatred, the anger, trying to push your buttons, being mean. You're turning that into something of inspiration and positivity for you. Right? Because you're giving them patience too. So you're also giving them back something, because you're just like, nah, I'm not going to decide to yell and do all these things that you are seemingly trying to get me to do. Right? It's an interesting process with people who try to do that. I mean, when I reflect back on my life, so many people try to do that through different jobs I was working career-wise, whether it was from jealousy, whether it was from them wanting something, whether it was friendship, and I'm not really in that space to kind of devote into it because I'm living my own life, or whether it was romantic, they had an interest and I wasn't, and then when they realize that I'm not interested and I'm not going to do that, then it turns from this kind of infatuation and love to hatred, and then they're trying to push my buttons and all that, and I'm just thinking, Why can't you just be more mature and an adult and just accept that you're not going to get what you want, but you can still be a loving, good person, and we can still enjoy life in this very moment. I mean, they would have been so much happier over the time space that we were sharing if they would have accepted it and then just been in the moment, present, laughing, making jokes, having a good time, creating memories of joy. And instead they chose to suffer because they were trying to get me to suffer. And ultimately I wasn't really suffering because I know that it's not me. So I hope that was on track of this, what you have been mentioning.
Yeah, like awkward silence. Hey, Pineapple, I can so relate to that. I think
Star Child is actually a AhueWave speaking.
Sorry?
This is a AhueWave speaking.
A AhueWave. Sorry, I don't know what that means.
I'm the room creator host.
Okay, sorry, Hugh, sorry, because when I see that little voice thingy that it's
when I'm speaking, it's lighting up.
When you're
hers.
speaking, it looks like number 2 is like saying, but like
yeah, I totally understand.
Your voice
that.
matches with that picture, so I understand now. Oh man, like who's the biggest purveyor of negativity? The media, the news media. I'm in Canada, and like,
hey,
they report just the bad stuff all the time. They focus on like what's missing, what we're lacking in, and obviously there's true. These things are true in a country. There's things that are lacking. There's things that we can do better, but the news should also focus on like what we're doing right, what kind of growth or what kind of things have we made, otherwise, like, why be the way that we are? If we think that we're so right in the way that we are and everything is going bad, I think we should have a change. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I appreciate you sharing that, man, and that's a deep, heavy one. I know you guys got a lot going on up there with Trudeau, right? Man.
Yeah.
So I'll say the tough thing, man, there's so much to unpack with that one. So I know it's tough, right? Because you have organizations that are responsible for giving the media to the masses, and they are funded in connection with larger companies and businesses. And so there's corporate interests. So there's a lot of influence for it to benefit them in financial ways and then in political ways. There are smaller, more local organizations that are sharing and giving out truth, right? And giving out more a balanced perspective, right? And
I would say, sorry, I hear just sorry. It's like not just truth though. Not just truth, but like, yeah, I think like everything has like selective reporting. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
they see things through their own. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So I more so than truth, I meant so like positive, kind of like optimistic viewpoints, right? Of like things that are also happening that are good, because you're saying like the negative side of things, right? And so we can find it if we look for it. It's harder, right? It's not as easy.
You're right.
It's definitely not as easy, but for what I try to do, I don't really consume certain media outlets, but more so I just get an idea of like what's happening from a bunch of different sources, and then from that, whatever is really inspiring and piquing my interest, then I'll start to do some deeper research on it. And then there's also limitations, because for the research, sometimes you got to actually pay, right? And so it's like, how how much do I really want to know, really want to look into it? So there is like there's a super deep dynamic of like trying to figure that out. I mean, and also you could be the beacon of light that you're wanting to see by, you know, doing a podcast and putting together some type of a presentation that has maybe more positive or more of balance as well. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm getting too far off topic, but you were tying that back into the aspect of like the positivity and turning that negativity. And is that correct? Am I correct about that?
No, that's what you were saying. You're saying that change that negativity to something positive.
Yeah. So even with the media, when they these large companies that are putting out negativity, you definitely can transmute it. It's difficult, but it's possible, and it can be inspiring.
You know, I say like usually the Canadian media is like this. Well, I don't know if it's the same as the U.S. media, but I think it should be similar.
Yeah, probably.
They always talk about scandals that are going on. Like, okay, well, our First Nation Aboriginal people, you know, like their condition, people getting robbed, or like housing prices, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think some people have said that the media purposely does this, maybe as a way that they can control people.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know what's interesting, right? So, and I respect and honor what's on your mind right now. The room purpose was more so relationship. But I'll say this though, right? What you're talking about is a larger relationship, right? You're talking about countries, right? And you're talking about countries. No need to apologize, bro. Because this is really, I'm appreciative because you've made me reflect on this, right? This is like a larger relationship, right? And the dynamic is super intense for the large relationship of millions of people, right? And then that relationship tied into these companies and these groups that are responsible with sharing what's happening in the relationship, right? And so it's tough because when we think like personal relationships, right, there's problems that are within a personal relationship, friendship wise, or let's say romantic, right? So the romantic, you have traumas, you have issues, you're fighting, you're arguing, there's miscommunication, there is perspective that's clashing. It's not even like it's not even a real problem, right? But just because how someone is thinking about it and talking about it, and then you're not getting a clear mutual understanding, right? And then from that it turns into, you start to raise your voice a little bit because of the frustration, right? And then that ties into, then you're yelling, right? And now from yelling, you're throwing things. And then, so it's like a breakdown, right? When all it really needs to be done is to just calm down, right? And then break things into the appropriate categories and address them, right? And
Address
them because, and Kareem, we're going to touch right back on where we were. I just want to finish this one thought, if I may, please. So a lot of the times, the people who have experienced the traumas, right, have a tough time talking about them, tough time getting an actual resolution, especially because a lot of the stuff that has happened in the past is affecting today. Matter of fact, all of the stuff that has happened in the past is affecting today, and it is still also going on. So like, imagine how difficult it is when the things that have happened in the past are being told to you that was in the past and it's still happening today in different ways or even in the same way.
Yeah.
That's a real tough thing to manage. And then from the standpoint of the people in the positions of control and in positions of authority, they want to keep things however it's going to be to make it so that they're still in control and in authority. That's that's the mindset,
Yeah.
Right? That's like the human mindset. And so it's up for the people locally, and then, you know, from starting from your own family, right, to then your own community, to then your own city, state, and then your country, and then from that to the world, to be able to address those things, so that way, and actually improve on those things, so that way it can ripple throughout the world. It's that one drop, and it starts with ourselves and our relationships with, I'm talking family, but then also friends, but then also coworkers, and then strangers that you're meeting throughout the world, throughout the streets, when you're walking from your local place to when you're traveling. Like you're that representative of that change that will ripple throughout the world. You know, and it's like, so it's just, it's a heavy. And I'll tell you this, one thing that I would highly recommend for you to take a look at, and we actually, myself and Pineapple Baby, we do streams where we read this book. We've been taking we took a little bit of a break, but we'll read it. We read it online.
Okay, go ahead.
And the book is called The Hidden Messages in Water by Masaru Emoto.
Okay, is it the water can carry different emotions?
Yeah.
Okay.
And have you read that book?
No, but I've heard about it.
Man, listen, I highly recommend reading it. I mean, every time we read it, it's so interesting too, because she was like, you know, saying that she's a little bored with reading the same book, but if we do it every day, I can see it being a bit much. But every time we read it, it's so impactful on my own actual day in life. It's mind blowing how impactful it is. Even when I think about the interactions like daily, they improve compared to when I didn't read the book. There's just a difference. It's wild. So I would like to at least once a week, maybe once a month or every other week, to try to make sure I read that book. And since we're streaming it, it's probably going to be maybe like at least once a week. But I'm just grateful for that, because there's a huge difference. And we're headed in that direction when we think about how the world has evolved to this point, right? You got the United Nations, right? And of course, there's issues there, of course, right? But it's the direction.
It's a start.
Right, of a unified world in a way where we can move beyond. And this is really further than what the United Nations is, but we can move beyond the issues of basically monetary gain, right? This current paradigm of effort and reward, right? And then also of subjugation over others based on where they are in the world, right? And how their current structure of government is, right? It's almost like the homogenous aspect of the human body, right? Our own human body delivers the proper nutrients, vitamins and minerals to the different organs based on what it needs. You don't have the brain deciding, well, you know what? I'm going to hoard more of the oxygen and I'm more important. I'm the one running things here. So the limbs, the hands, the feet, sorry, you got nothing. You're going to go gangrene and just fall off because it's all about me, bro. I'm the one running things here. That's not how it works, right? And so if our own body can be intelligent enough to do that without us consciously doing anything, then it's up for us to consciously get to the point where then it can become a subconscious aspect of humanity. Like, you know, just, you know, oh, you have more of this over there? Or, well, we have more of this. How much do you need? Like, you know, okay, well, we'll give you this. Then you give us that. And it's just balancing it out. Think about it, too. Whenever any disaster happens in the world, right, people help. And it's not about money. It's not about any of that stuff. They just want to help. immediately. Just, oh, I got you. I'll give you this. Oh, I'll help you pull you out of this. Like there's no one's thinking about that. And then it's after it devolves back into this aspect of hierarchy, control, power, subjugation, greed, all of these lower vibrational energies that exist within all of us but get amplified. Right? And a lot of it is, we're allowing it to happen. And a lot of it is we're kind of almost, I will also say this, we're so intelligent that we're allowing it to happen because the change that needs to happen isn't ready to happen right now. Right? And so, we want to stay alive and stay well, right? We love life. And there is a huge aspect of sacrifice for trying to usher in a better world. I mean, we go back hundreds of years ago. There was different systems, right? And when we look back on them hundreds of years ago, we're like, well, what we got now is better. But if you tried to go back then and try to make it to what it is now, you would be executed. And just totally thought as disbelief. Like, nah, that's not possible. It's impossible. It's a, what's that called? Utopia, It's just too good to be true. All this other stuff that would be thrown at you. And that's the same thing that's happening now for the better future that is in store for us, as long as we continue working on ourselves daily, so that way we don't allow these global wars to escalate into a nuclear wasteland, essentially.
Oh, help me.
Right? And so, but that's all family. I mean, look at what's happening in that region. Like, those are people who all have family relations, right? From people who went there and then they lived there, and then you have cousins and you have sisters and you have brother-in-law, and like this, it's all family. Like, you're my distant brother from Canada. I don't have any hatred in my heart for you because you're from Canada and you've been living in Canada and the lineage of what your family has gone through to travel the world to be there now.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you something, Ahu, but like the media tells us who to hate.
Yeah. Hey, but how intelligent are we to allow them?
I think the environment that you are from really shapes who you are. I don't know how much freedom one can have, but some people may question their beliefs or like how they're trained when they were younger.
Yeah.
But I think
it's a huge factor. It's a huge shaping factor. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm going to cut you off. You said, but I think.
Yeah. Some people don't know that they're brainwashed.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, man.
Okay, it's like, for example, right? Like, you have never been to this country, right? And all you are exposed to is like what the media tells you it's like.
Mm-hmm.
And so this other place, it might be a paradise, but your media will tell you that it's a hellhole. People suffer there, and people are being entramped.
Yeah.
But if you've never been there, but the thing is, when you're told that though, and you have no other way to like verify, because you don't have any personal experience, so you're just getting your news from people. That shapes your beliefs, and some people don't know that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it does, but again, man, it's from my own experience of traveling and also watching things, come to the understanding of that, like, there's truth in that. Some people probably are suffering there. Some people probably are being trampled there, and some people are doing the trampling, and some people are kind of in the middle, not doing the trampling, not really suffering, right? So all of those truths are there. All that exists. It's just, what can we do to alleviate some of the suffering and the trampling, right?
In other countries?
Well, no. When you're talking about countries, I'm talking about locally. Like, I'm talking about locally.
Okay.
In other countries,
I would hear locally.
It's a bit more difficult to really talk about that in a larger sense, because
I agree.
I mean, we can help shape it, because as a society, I mean, look at the Vietnam War, right? The public sentiment had a huge factor in that coming to its close.
Yeah.
Right. And so
yeah.
I mean, and when you think about the monk over there, he self-immolated, and that had a huge factor of his self-sacrifice, which is the opposite side. Instead of, which typically happens, which is it turns into terrorism and turns into violence upon others.
Yeah.
He turned it inward and self-immolated, had a whole funeral progression, and transitioned in a way where he wasn't yelling and screaming. He actually meditated and practiced on it to get that skilled to the point where he would reduce the amount of suffering from the onlookers of what he was going to do, to send a message of wanting it to stop.
Wow, man, you're talking about self-immolating?
Yeah,
that's like pretty heavy stuff.
It's heavy, but this is reality. It's true though, right? This is what happened over there, and it had a huge impact on the human beings over here, which then
I think self-immolating has more of a tradition in the East. I would say maybe in like South Asia.
Yeah,
maybe
I mean, that's
like
where it was.
Asia too, kind of.
I'm just saying that has that imagine the dynamic of how that had that impact, and then the people here, which we're way over here, and you think, what can we do? They started speaking out against it, right? People here started speaking out against it, and holding different, really sharing their voices on it, and with that, there was the change that was kind of pushed upon the people in those positions of power that didn't want to end it. And so,
let me ask you this though, about self-emulating. How do you say self-emulating? How do you say that?
Self-immolation, yeah.
Self-emulation. Okay, yeah. If you self-emulate, like if there's an organization that kind of like sort of encourages people to self-emulate, should the government like clamp down?
Yeah, I don't think. See, that's the thing. The thing is like, there wasn't an organization that was encouraging it. Like, that is a older human being who, with what the suffering they had seen, had decided and practiced to get to the point to do this as his show of love and his final message, to actually have that positive change happen. And that's super powerful, because, I mean, that's a total opposite of the fact that there are people that were traveling there, fighting and killing and dying in the aspect of control and power, right? And so, I mean, the beauty in that is in that specific one, right? Because that one is very clear that he was not forced to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just when you look at the aspect of how it was done, the proof is right there. You know, if you're being forced to do it, you're gonna be kicking and screaming, right? And this human being was just at the highest state of self-control that I've ever seen. Like, just unbelievable.
Yeah, you would have to have high self-control.
I mean, it can get no higher, man. I mean, so that to me is so beautiful, man, and it's so important for that not to be forgotten, and to be. So I'm glad I'm able to share it, right? And then also the tie-in, which is that we can actually have an impact on the global affairs as well, right? And with our voice and with our actions, right? So our voice standing out against the stuff that we feel like is not right, and then speaking out against it, and then also in our actions, which is like choosing not to allow the medias to, you know, corrupt our hearts and make us hate other people we don't know and we've never met.
I will say this, Hugh.
Yeah.
A voice, that's a start. That is the beginning. To be able to peacefully, at least, but vocally, vocally express what you are trying to do.
Yeah.
But I think speaking out of things that you're against. For example, maybe Black Lives Matter, right? I don't know. I'm not gonna go into whether that's really
Yeah,
like
it's
honorable
a little,
organization, but like
yeah, a little too
they.
much.
But I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say that that just started by people saying something, and then they just organized, and the organization that's into question. But I'm gonna say like execution.
Yeah,
Execution is also very, very important. I think it's even more important than vocalizing, but vocalizing is a start. Is to actually like the reason why you vocalize even in public is to let people know, hey, let it be known that we're about this, we're for this cause, and we're gonna be part of this positive change in society.
yeah.
And like, hey, this is our address, this is our email, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, Facebook, right? Phone number, right? And that's the beginning. The second part is actually like execution. But before execution, you probably need to get organized, and that can be really difficult because like humans are like totally corrupt. Think of any organization that actually started. They actually had like the they had like the biggest vision, right? But as the group grew older, as time passed, as the group grew, then you kind of see like there's wrong practices, abuse within the organization,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I'll say
yeah,
this though, and I will end on that because I gotta allow Kareem to come back on stage. We were in discussion, and then the room had got shut down, and I want to pick up where we had left off. And I'm
yeah,
grateful
sure,
for
sure,
you.
sure.
I'm grateful for you sharing. I'm not like pushing you away or anything like that. But we did kind of divert off, and so I just want to pull us back in the sense of the beautiful thing is like there we don't have control over the larger organizations of things, right? We only can control what we can input on it, right? And in general, we're moving when you reflect on history, and it seems to be more so in a better direction. But transparency is what is going to usher in a better world, right? Because with transparency, then it becomes difficult, if not impossible, right, for the corruption to set in and spread. Because corruption is like a cancer, right? And if you don't see the cancer and know the cancer's there, then the cancer spreads to the point where now it's fatal at some point, right? But if you would have known about it when it first was there, then there was the higher chance of it being removed and dealt with, right? And so as transparency starts to fold into the technological advancements of the world, right, there is going to be an overall better world because of it, right? And so on the pessimistic side, I try not to get too caught up on it because if you look at the world now, I mean, from the pessimistic side, we should already all be gone. The world should already be in total ruin. And all life should be not even possible on this planet. And yet,
Wait. I'll say it like this.
Here we are.
We can be we can be wiped out, but there's always little critters on the ground.
Yeah,
Okay, like
I mean,
insects,
to a
centipedes.
certain point, yeah.
They will exist, but yeah, we can be wiped out because I think those things can survive past us though.
True. I mean, as far as we see, even
And
radiation is kind
yeah.
of dealt with in nature, and bugs and the microorganisms have adapted and evolved. So I say that, vaguely, but for the most part, all mostly mammal life, for the most part, right? Because of the air and the pollution in the soil and stuff like that, or at least set back for a long time, right? Because I mean, for the it probably would restart up again, and humans would just be genetically different than what we are now to a larger degree. But I just say that to say, here we are, right? Society is still moving forward in a lot of different places in a way where humans have cordially interactions with each other, and things are operating in a logical, constructive, civil way, right? For the most part, globally, right, except for these hot spots and everything. And so we so for that, I'm grateful, right? Gratitude. And then the other side is just patience, man, and doing my best to be a better version of myself, man. That's all I can say, right? Because I'm definitely not perfect, and I got a lot of room for growth and improvement.
Oh yeah, we all do,
right?
You and me.
So I appreciate you sharing, man, and it was definitely an interesting perspective on things. And
yeah, nice talking to you.
I'll definitely follow you, bro, and hopefully we end up having other deeper chats on stuff. And the last thing I'll say to you,
again.
the other thing I'll say to you is to look into a book by Jacques Fresco and Roxanne Meadows called "The Best That Money Can't Buy."
The best that money can buy. Okay.
The best that money can't buy.
Oh, the best that money can't buy. Okay, I got you, man.
Yeah, that book, man, life-changing for me. So, and it's where we're headed. It's the direction we're headed in eventually. It's just gonna take, people realizing it and then moving towards it when the time is right. That's all. It's not something that we're trying to force on anyone. It's impossible, but it's just awareness.
Yeah, thanks for the recommendation, man.
Awesome.
I'm out. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, peace. Okay. That was a little bit of a divergent, but it still was good, man. I hope he is feeling better. Peace, Kareem. I remember what we were saying. We were saying at that point there was the recognition of we're in a better place, and so that the other people are trying to bring the pain and we can transmute it. Is that correct? You're muted, Kareem. I'm not sure if you know. Actually, I wonder. I'm not sure if he's hearing me or if he's muted. Yeah. Kareem.
Let me do it.
Do what?
Hi, Kareem. Hi, Kareem.
Oh, I did add you. I don't know why it's saying that I didn't. You're on stage in my view.
Yeah, you're on stage on my view too. Okay, so
maybe you have to.
What should I do?
Maybe you have to come down, and then I'll pull you back up.
I'll remove
let me
from
see. Hold on.
stage first, and he's there again.
There we go. Is it now allowing you to unmute?
Can you talk? I can remove you and then add you again.
This app is a little crazy sometimes. Or maybe try.
I just removed him, and then
hold on. Let me do it so that way it's my room.
you
and
invite
maybe,
him to stage.
Yeah, maybe it'll work if I invite him. Okay. I can't even invite him, actually. Why not? Maybe because you're a mod?
A mod, I can bring people off stage.
All right, try to raise your hand, and let me see if I can pull you in that way. Please.
Okay.
Don't do anything.
Okay.
Okay. How about now? Are you able to unmute? You still can't unmute, huh? What is going on with this app?
We can't mute or unmute people.
Yeah, only you can unmute.
But we can remove people from the stage, though.
I'm not sure what's going on. What are you doing over there, Pineapple? Okay, yeah. Try leaving and then rejoining, and then I'll try to pull you on stage again, please. Man, you know it's funny, man. I definitely want to talk about relationship stuff, but like that was good though because it just pulls back to the relationship of self. You know what I mean? It's like, what just being truly realistically, what can we do? What's the best that we can do? Let's see. All right, I pulled you on now. Are you able to unmute now? Still no. I don't know what's going on.
Are you on the stage from your end?
Are you on the stage as number 3?
But he can unmute himself.
Yeah, because I can.
Right? There is a mute button.
You got to press the little mute button down
there. There is a microphone.
I mean, a microphone button. I'm sorry. It should be at the very bottom.
Not on stage.
It's still saying he's not on. I pulled him on stage. You saw me do it. Let me see. So if it didn't work for me to pull you on stage, I can't even remove him. Oh no, I was able to. Okay, now you try to pull him on stage. I just removed him. Let's see if you can pull him on the stage. No, don't keep pressing it because it might. This app is very finicky. All right, maybe now try to raise your hand. No? Okay, he applied to go on stage. So maybe, should you try it and see if it'll work? Because my mic is somehow not popping up. Okay, how about now?
Can you unmute yourself?
What's going on? Still not working, huh? This is so bizarre. Dang. Still not working, I don't think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. I've already invited you. I've already here. It's allowing me to remove you. Let me see if I invite you. I'll try one other time. Press it just once. Okay. Maybe we can switch his position. Can we? Maybe I can switch his position from 3 to 2. Maybe that will work.
No, you can't.
No?
You cannot switch positions. Next, as always, like in order.
So why is happening?
And
so maybe no, because last time
I think
he was working,
because I see him is on stage, and you see him is also on stage, and
right,
and maybe something happening.
Can you try maybe
with him?
Yeah, maybe.
His end.
I've heard Hello Talk has a lot of issues with like their app in that way. Maybe try updating the app, seeing if it needs to be updated. So like close the app out, go to the app store, see if it needs to be updated, and update it. And if that doesn't work, then the next step would be to restart your phone. As far as we were in the other room with that guy, and he was telling me that that's what he had to do to get it to work. And then he's heard other people having the same issue. And so we'll be on for a little bit longer if you want to try the first step of just updating it to seeing if it works.
Also, if you delete your phone, if you delete the app, HelloTalk app, all of your history, chat history, everything will be erased.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I didn't know that. Okay, so maybe don't delete it. Just see if you can update it, and then restart your phone if that doesn't work, if it doesn't need to be updated. We could just try those two first, since those are the easier, faster options. Man, that's a bummer. What happened that did he get pulled out of the room last time? Okay. Well, it was great talking to you, bro, and I hope to talk to you again in the future. I'll be doing these a couple times a week at least. So look forward to talking and building and sharing, man. This was awesome and very helpful for me as well.
Okay, nice talking to you, Karim. Hello.
I think we're gonna end it, honestly. A lot of technical difficulties this time, but next time will be better because we have an idea of how to avoid them now.
It's in there.
All right. So, peace, love, gratitude.